Well, we're going to look at Chris Evert Lloyd take on Martina Navratilova for the 61st time in just a minute. They're still completing their warm-ups. How do you see the match today?
I think it's going to be very different from a year ago. A year ago, Martina won easily, 1-3. But their games were almost polarized last year. Martina was so tough, both mentally. She was so eager. She wanted to win every single point. She didn't want to give away a single point. This year, she's still playing just as well. But, you know, she's so far above everybody else that she does get a little nonchalant and take it a bit easy. Chris, on the other hand, wasn't quite in order last year. Things were just not quite right. But this year, she has shown us that she is trying to close the gap again. And there's always that element of mental toughness that Chris has.
Well, they're just about ready to start, Tony. How do you see the match?
Well, I think Chris has to do 2 or 3 things very well to really stay in the match. One is she has to get a lot of first serves in. Secondly, she's going to have to take Martina's serves from around the baseline, not get too deep in the court. And she's going to have to take some floaters and come in some. She can't stay back and let Martina do all the rushing. Here we go. Chris Evert Lloyd to serve.
The crowd still has certainly not settled down at all. The stadium was just packed as that Cash Lindell match came to an end. It'll be packed before too much longer.
15 all.
15 all. Joan Vorbone from San Jose, California, the chair umpire. That's Paul.
Now, it's a beautiful sight to me seeing Martina stand there during the national anthem with her hand over her heart looking at our flag. Became an American citizen in 1981.
And singing the anthem.
Yep.
It's going to be a little difficult to settle down because, as we know, it's pretty hard to follow that match before.
That was a beauty.
The Australians know how to play tennis, don't they?
Sure do. So do the Czechs.
I know, but most people have forgotten how the Australians play. They do everything right.
40-30.
Well, that's what we saw Chris doing at Wimbledon so successfully. When she got a shorter ball on the forehand, she would rip it cross court and try to get in behind it. Well, Martina's certainly not making any mystery of her tactic out here. She missed a few forehands attacking them at the beginning, but she is going to keep going for that return whenever she can.
Evert Lloyd wins the first game, the first set.
Evert Lloyd won the first game with the first set. Martina missed her first serve. In the first point of game number 2. Here's how Martina got to the final.
Lee Antonopoulos in straight sets, Andrea Leon in straight sets, Jennifer Mundell in about 36 minutes, Barbara Potter, Sukova, and Wendy Turnbull. So she hadn't lost a set. No one's gotten more than 4 games from her in any one set.
15 love.
Love.
Here's how Chris got here.
And Chris had a very very concentrated tournament. Maximum number of games she lost was 5 against Sylvia Haneker and against all good players.
40 love.
She obviously didn't lose the set either. Martina served her first ace. 40 love. In her case, that serve is really a weapon.
Game Navratilova, 1-all.
Even at 1. They've turned the lights on here in the stadium so that the transition from daylight, bright sunlight, to dusk to dark won't be so great.
It's going to be dark when sometime during the match when Connors and McEnroe play.
Oh, yeah.
15 love.
There's John Lloyd, Chris Evert Lloyd's husband.
What a great tournament he had.
Super. Finally lost to Connors.
Oh! 15 all.
Temperature has risen to 73 degrees. Wind south 8 miles an hour. Sunny. The sun will set about 2 hours from right now at 7:19.
Betty Stove, Rosie Cassells. There'll be a lot of players watching out there today.
Oh! 40-15.
Martina pressing a little bit too much. She's made several errors, really trying to go for a little too much too soon.
She leads 2-1 in the first set of the women's final.
Today's really got to be the best day of tennis anywhere in the world during the year.
Certainly agree. Ooh, that just missed. Third appearance for Martina in the U.S. Open final. She, of course, is the defending champion. Finally last year.
30 love.
Mike Estep, who is Martina's coach. You probably saw that feature on Mike and what they've accomplished since he was hired a little over a year ago.
30-15.
A little bit loose.
Again, trying to go for too good a shot.
Unquestionably, the best serve in women's tennis.
Best first serve and the best second serve.
Put those together, that's pretty tough to beat, isn't it?
Particularly when you back it up like she backs it up.
Yeah. To Navratilova.
2-all.
It's 2-all first set.
It's going to be a while for this crowd to really get involved in this match. Of course, it's early in the first set, but they're sort of wrung out after that men's semi we just watched.
Well, it's going to be a while before they all get back to their seats.
is moving as well as I've ever seen her move. In her match against Carling Bassett, she moved well, got the drop shots very quickly so the ball was higher and she had more time to decide what to do with it. She did it very well there.
President of the USTA, Hunter Delatour, has to be very happy about the tournament and the way it's progressed. Tremendous crowds and great weather. Today made it all worth waiting for.
See the shadows almost all the way across the court now.
40 love.
40 love. We're on serve so far. And I think you're right, Virginia. Martina's just trying for too much.
I think she feels so confident that she's such a superior tennis player that she can win points too easily. And I prefer to see her working at points out a little bit. A good drop shot. Chris usually goes cross-court on that, but she saw that Martina was waiting. But there again, Martina is so strong on that wrist that she's going to do something with it, even at full stretch. Sort of point that they both wanted to play to get into the match.
Good lob.
One of the things that makes Martina so dominant is the fact that even when she is stretched wide and hits that low volley practically off the ground, she hits it with so much power. And I know that Mike Estep practices that particular shot with her a lot.
She runs so well. Evert Lloyd leads 3-2.
Evert Lloyd leads.
Sport. Stands starting to fill back up again
Quietly.
after they recovered from the match between Cash and Lindell. It's 3-2, Evert Lloyd leading Navratilova in the first set of this women's final.
Fault.
Martina trying to defend her title and Chris trying to win the title for the 7th time.
Love 15.
Love 15.
Martina's got to tighten up on some of the errors that she's making.
I'm not so sure she picked that ball up very well.
It could be that
Unforced error, excuse me.
Yeah, that's a high percentage for her high average of errors. I'm sure it is tricky to see with the light at this moment.
All.
Martina's won the last 12 times they've played one another. That can't just fill that young lady with confidence, but every time going out there she thinks she got a chance, and she certainly does.
15-30.
15-30.
Fault.
Talk about sunset is what, 7:19. When is
I got a red
sunrise?
light. It's never 11. I got a red light. It was a fault.
There was no beep, and the serve did look awfully close. Martina has every right to question that. I think this machine needs some tuning up sometimes.
Oh! 15-40.
Martina signaled, Chrissy signaled it was out. Whatever it is, it's 2 break points for Chris Evert Lloyd. But take another look. Let you be the judge. I think there's any way you can tell on a replay like that.
Not from that angle.
Nothing's happening from the machine.
Well, that hit beyond the 12-inch line, behind the line, so it doesn't beep after that.
The umpire should call it.
Ooh.
I think we ought to invent a machine that calls lines that's got 2 eyes, not Cyclops.
2 good ones, huh?
Yes.
Still a break point.
There's the beep.
Deuce.
I just feel that they should have a lines person sitting on the machine listening to it so that they can stick their arm out or call immediately, because the stadium there is a lot of commotion, a lot of planes go by, and you don't always hear that.
I agree with you.
That's a great shot.
Advantage Navratilova.
First serve percentage, Martina far below her average. Evert Lloyd at 71%. Of course, it's not that big a weapon for her.
Game Navratilova.
They're even at 3.
This is the sort of thing that I see happening. Martina being a tiny bit sloppy, getting into a little bit of trouble, but still being so confident on such a roll that when she needs it, she can just pull out the stops and hit winning shots.
Love 15.
Though Chrissy's serve is not a weapon, that percentage, a high percentage, is very important for her because it keeps Martina from coming into that offer serve on the return. So if her percentage goes down, that means it's open for Martina to come on in.
Good return. Analyze this serve, Virginia.
Well, everything is good about the serve. The action is good. It's just a little bit on the stiff side, and she could really get that right leg to come on in, and it stays behind, so her weight doesn't go in as much as it could.
And the way you do that is toss the ball forward into the court, so you have to lean in after it.
It's incredible to be ranked in the top 2 since 1975.
It really is when you think about it. Times at the net so far in this game, this set, I should say, 20-11. Successful attempts. This hasn't been there yet.
The break.
Game Navratilova.
Martina gets her break, and she leads 4-3 in the first set.
Navratilova leads 4-3. Change balls, please.
Martina Navratilova coming off the service, breakdown service.
Martina does not look very intense to me. As you mentioned, Virginia, sort of loose. And that's the way you can get yourself in trouble.
That last loss. None this year.
Here's another look. Chris takes this one in the air and goes straight at Martina, right down the middle of the court, and trapped her. Smart play by Chris. Back live at love 40. 3 break points for Evert Lloyd. Trying to get even at 4-all first set.
Game, Evert Lloyd.
And there's the break. And Chris gets even at 4-all.
Fault.
We'll run some more down in just a minute.
Love 15. All.
15 all. The crowd is starting to get into things, and Chris Evert Lloyd is level at 4-all in the first set with Martina Navratilova. It's 30-15.
Saying thank you so much. She has to understand that because she's so dominant that the crowd will always back the underdog. Chris went through it at one stage too. Now they're on her side.
Lots of unforced errors thus far by Martina.
First set.
Get in this kind of situation, anything can happen. Chrissy knock a couple past Martina and miss a volley or something, and set can go by in a hurry. Chrissy's mother on the left, husband John in the middle. Mother saying, keep it up. Chris was a little deeper in the court, I think, than she would like to be or should be. You got to stand in on that serve and try to get it, make Martina at least volley up to you. Otherwise, she's too tough. Here's where I see she's behind the baseline, maybe a yard. Let's see if she does move up to the baseline at least. That's what she did at Wimbledon, had some success doing on the return.
First double fault by Martina.
15-30.
15-30.
And Martina not relying on her concentration to this point, but just then she was saying, come on, get it in. So she's got to slap herself up a little bit.
Chris is standing over to her left. Now she's come back a little bit. It fell over.
30-all.
Great break for Martina. She'd have been down double set point if that hadn't gone over.
Yeah, and Chris had absolutely no play on that. There was no way she could get there. 30-all.
40.
Set point.
Quiet, please.
Good serve that time by Navratilova.
Well, Martina is still not getting in the first serve this game. 6-second serves, including one double fault.
The Cyclops. I got a red. The light.
Well, they were both looking askance at that. Chris hit such a sensational shot. It caught the corner of the line at the other end.
There's a
Nobody's
second look at it.
Satisfied with this.
I think Martina has to be satisfied because she'd have been passed cleanly. Back live. Another set point.
Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
That one didn't appear to be even close. Well, Martina's just upset with herself for the call. Second look coming in, locking the volley into the open court and saying yes, that's one. 36 minutes.
Game and first set, Evert Lloyd, 6-4.
It's been a long
Ladies
time
and gentlemen,
since Chris has even won a
as a
set
courtesy to the players, please be as
from
quiet as
Martina.
you can during the play of the point. Thank you.
And that came a year ago in the Canadian Open when she won the second set that
Second
time.
set, Evert Lloyd to serve.
There's Mike Estep. You're going to see a different Navratilova, I think, in this second set. She's not going to be as loose.
In spite of that point?
Yep, I think she'll be continually on the attack. Going to try to reverse this thing. Of course, Chris is going to have a lot to say with that.
15 left. A little bit more like what we've seen before. $15-all.
Missed the first serves in this game, and Martina creeping up. She's over a little bit, wants you to forehand.
Too ambitious. But Martina needs something like this to fire her up, but it's being in a situation like this that we want to see whether her nerve can be tested. It hardly ever is.
Ball hit right on the line.
15.
And Martina could have made a play on the ball. She just thought it was going out.
teach that topspin lob in Czechoslovakia.
I guess so. We saw a bunch of them off of Lendel's racket, didn't we?
with pace.
Game, Evert Lloyd. First game, second set.
Here we go. Racket preparation early. Roll across court. Yes, sir. Clench the fist. I got one game in the second set.
Navratilova serving the second set at love one. Oh, those shots are just too good.
And Martina hasn't hit her first serve in.
I know it. What a nice way for Pat Cash to put it, too. He's a champion. He got out of it.
He's right. Champions do get out of it.
15 all.
Yeah. They played so well, those two guys. It was really a shame that anybody had to lose. Pat certainly also deserved to win it. 15 all.
Correction, 15-30.
Well, Chris talking about her chances today. She knows she's playing well, but she said Martina hasn't even shown me any chance in other matches. But
30 all.
this is what Chris is looking for. One day when when Martina might be a little bit off.
As we told you earlier, the lights have been on for about 45 minutes to make that transitional period between daylight and dusk, and when the sun goes down, a little bit easier to adjust to. Look at this. Martina's been to the net 43 times, won 21 points.
Well, I wouldn't put it quite as strongly as that.
I didn't understand what you said, Virginia.
Most shocking service game.
See, that's the stuff that no other gal can do. Martina stretches out like that, not only gets it back, but hits a winner.
1 all.
Just watch this. It's a terrific stretch that the ball's actually behind her and way, way past her. Tremendous shot.
Love 15.
Can't get too tentative. She's got to keep going after it a little bit. You know Martina's going to rush you.
Love 40.
Yeah,
Break points.
Chris really needs to hang in here because if Martina starts getting ignited, she's ready to roll.
Game Navratilova.
Rolled right through that game and leads 2-1 second set.
Navratilova leads 2-1. Behind the court. Thank you.
Summerall with Virginia Wade and Tony Trabert. Navratilova leading 2-1 second set. Evert Lloyd won the first set. 6-4.
15 love.
And now Martina starting to apply the pressure.
First serve.
Why do they say first serve?
Yes.
Oh, the umpire got a little mixed up that time.
Yeah.
All. The
first serve makes a big difference. Chris is getting a pretty good play on the ball if Martina misses her first serve.
First serve.
Again, another great stretching backhand volley.
40-15.
40-15 now.
Game Navratilova.
Leads 3-1.
Navratilova leads.
Second set. What's the rest of that schedule? Check your local listings.
Good move by Chris. Seeing that short ball on the forehand and coming in behind it.
That's something that she did not used to do, and again, she tried to do it at Wimbledon, did it with some success. I think she believes she has to do some of those things in order to really have a chance against Martina.
Bad luck.
Actually played a little finer than she had to because Martina didn't see that coming at all. She had not started forward.
15 all.
Going back to that match at Wimbledon, when she did that on the forehand, she did it so successfully until it got close, and then she didn't want to go in when it got to 5-all and 6-all.
That type of thing, Pat, is why the first serve percentage for Chris is so important.
Navratilova in the second set.
Navratilova leads 3-2.
Evert Lloyd won the first set 6-4. Navratilova leads and will be serving 3-2 in the second. She has a service break.
15 love.
That's too good. A tremendously deep first volley, followed by the easy put away second volley.
Second ace for Martina.
Have another look. I mean, Chris doesn't even attempt to play this ball. She looks at it and decides it's not in, doesn't play it.
Out. Game Navratilova. 4-2 Navratilova.
4-2 Navratilova.
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of a lesson to be learned there, because there are some people who don't believe the machine, and in a situation that's this important, I would say, hey, play everything and wait for the call. You know, don't not make an effort at it and then find out that they're not going to call it in your favor.
Martina signaling that the ball skid through. Either Chris put a little extra slice on that, or it took a dive.
It also hit it nice and deep.
Good serve.
That one hit on the line, too.
Clever
Martina
play.
get wrong-footed here. Tries to do a 360. That's, even she can't do that to a success.
Got the racket on.
love.
40 love.
Just as I thought Martina was eliminating unforced errors, she's got a little bit sloppy again. Chris must take advantage here.
First double fault by Chris. 40-15 now.
Yeah,
4-3 Navratilova in the second set.
They've played for 1 hour now.
Oh, great save. Love 15.
Tremendous stuff, because Chris was in a lot of trouble there. Managed to hit a nice early half volley. Martina had just done too much in that point to make one more. Love 15.
Longest match Martina's played is 1 hour and 3 minutes here at the Open against Lee Antonopoulos, so this is going to go longer than that.
I think Chris's longest is hour 16. Love 30.
Love 30.
Shot here for Chris, a second serve. the open.
Crowd appreciates that great effort by both players. Look at that.
Unforced errors.
30 all.
Martina was praying for that. Bad luck. Chris has made so many of those forehand passes down the line today.
Game, Navratilova.
Martina holds. Chris had some chances.
Yep.
Navratilova leads 5-3.
5-3. Second set.
Again, the good strong serving and then the good court coverage. So from love 30, Martina won 4 in a row.
When she needs it, she still comes out with those big serves.
I would expect to see Martina try to attack right here.
I'm glad to see that Chris is lobbing today, although that wasn't a very successful one, but it's one of the weapons that she can use against Martina, even if Martina hits good overhead. She gets so intimidated by Martina's overhead that she tends to go for passing shots too much, but even if you lob a few times, it will make Martina step a little bit further away from the net.
One of the first topspin backhands we've seen today for Martina. Very comfortable doing it.
Forehand pass down the line.
I guess that's Chris's favorite, wouldn't you say, off the forehand side?
Yeah.
Good 40-30.
It's one of the things that Chris has talked about. She said, I want to improve my serve enough so I can get a couple of cheap points a game like Martina does against everybody. Not that she's going to serve as powerfully as Martina. She knows that. Out.
Game, Evert Lloyd.
Game, Evert Lloyd. And it's 5-4 in the second set. Navratilova leads. Navratilova serving for the second set. Would put it even at 1.
Love.
Women's final.
Here's a second look. Chris, get that racket ready on the run. Little top spin to keep it on line, to thread it right down line as we come back live. 15-all, second serve coming. This place will go crazy if Chris gets this break back.
15-30.
and cross court, Martina wasn't certain which way she was going. She did pretty much have it covered.
Two break points.
And second serve coming up. Tough one. Still got a break point.
You know, another thing, if Chris ever got in her arsenal, the ability to take a second serve and hit it and come in herself, that was an opportune time, a very short, shaky second serve. Then you end up looking at that.
Yep. Martina being a little bit more deliberate here, trying to get that concentration together. It happens. It was a late call.
If it was out, it was out. That's the key. Whatever. This is going to be a tough second serve now. Boy, super volley.
Advantage Navratilova.
You have to hand it to Martina. She is getting a little rattled there, and she had the toughest volley I think she's made all day.
Now with the sun down behind the stadium, the high walls of the stadium, starting to cool off considerably.
Just out.
Advantage Navratilova.
No question that that ball was over the baseline.
Oh, yeah.
And it's set point for Martina.
And a helicopter going overhead to add to the drama.
Game at second set, Navratilova 6-4. Thank you.
Martina's reaction
Final set, Evert
to winning that set. Talking to herself, as you can see the sun starting to go down over the island of Manhattan.
Quiet, please.
Pretty windy now. First game of the final set being served by Chris Evert Lloyd. Martina constantly encouraging herself and giving herself pep talks.
Chrissy thought the ball was out.
The line umpire corrected himself. I saw the ball, but we will replay the point.
Here's another look.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how you can tell that way.
Chair umpire asking for quiet. Line person who changed his call. Sorry, Virginia.
It always is so funny when they tell them to keep quiet and they make twice as much noise. It's all happening here.
Always does.
They're getting into it now.
30 love.
This is his mother and John Lloyd, her husband, looking on. 30 love.
Martina's going to get herself in trouble with this crowd if she keeps mimicking them and begging them for applause and stuff.
That's right, and she can blow a fuse, too.
Evert Lloyd wins the first game of the final set. Sports. Pat Summerall, Virginia Wade, and Tony Trabert. Evert Lloyd wins the first game of the final set. Mike Estep on the right, and his pupil Martina Navratilova about to serve.
Would you say these folks are getting their money's worth?
Today. It's enough today for the whole 2 weeks.
We've got more to come.
McEnroe and Connors waiting in the wing.
And if Martina needs a challenge and motivation, she sure has it here.
The 61st meeting between these two. And that series stands at 30 each. That's good. Ace number 4 by Martina, and it's 1-all in the final set. The women's final. Martina trying to settle herself down. Love 30.
The right play. Not good enough, though. She lost her serve at 1-all in the second set.
Just too good.
It's a classic point.
Winners, reasonably even, 21-20. Well, just got the top of the net.
3 break points now for Martina. Trying to go up 2-1 in the final set.
There's the break. And Martina goes up 2-1. Final set.
Navratilova leads 2-1.
It has been a spectacular day of tennis at the U.S. Open Championship. Navratilova leads 2-1. Final set. 15 love. He has the service break. What great court coverage.
Yep.
30 love.
There's another look. Good deep shot. Chris really stretched out for that one. Recovers, but not sure which way to go. And Martina bunts it in the open court.
30 love. 40 love.
The two best players in the world.
And the best serve there is. Ace number 5 for Martina. She leads 3-1 in the final set.
And when you see them having such a great contest out here, it's as if the rest of the tournament was incidental. These two are just so far in a class of their own.
Martina's won 12 of the last 13 points.
Yeah, she's calmed down, concentrating.
Closing in on Chris's all-time record of 56 consecutive victories.
On Martina's serve has improved. In the first set, she got 31%. In the second, 63%. And thus far in the third, 78%. So she has really improved the service tremendously.
Battle.
Yeah, Chris really struggled up there that time, handling the topspin lob, and she just barely got a rack roll. Came back as a lob, stayed in the point. Good fighting.
Now trails 2-3. Final set. Martina Navratilova to serve with new ball. She leads 3-2. Final set.
15 love.
And Martina, a different player from the first set, but maybe that sloppiness was just her telling us that she's human, that she was nervous.
She sure served a lot better, but you wouldn't know it, would you?
15 all.
Talk about nailing a return to serve.
Hit that so early. And a good agile jump.
Point.
30-40.
Little underspin forehand going across the back of the ball was really effective because she landed a little short. Didn't really get back to the baseline. Well, here's a golden opportunity for Chris, and I think she should really take a whack at the second serve. It's the best swing she'll get during the point. The reason I say that is once Martina makes a volley or a ground stroke, the ball is usually going away from you and it's lower. Second serve is sitting up higher and you get a better angle down into your opponent's court.
Advantage Navratilova.
Good serve. Martina certainly doesn't take too much time, does she? She's just raring to go.
Cool at him now. Final set, Navratilova.
Love 15.
Martina does try to come in behind Chris's serve because Chris gets that ball so deep that she really gets another opportunity to get in.
One of the things Chris is doing more now in the passing shot is trying to roll it and get a better angle instead of driving it, particularly in the cross-court shot. Get it farther out of Martina's reach.
That was a good serve. 40-15.
Fine passing shot by the defending champion. Chris is serving 76%, and that's good. But one of the things that's keeping her in this match.
40-30 now.
Wow, Martina's fast. She puts on a turbocharger, I think.
Yeah, but also when she gets there, she ends up making good shots the majority of the time. It's one thing to get to it, but then what do you do with it? She put Chris in a very difficult position there with that lob.
Longest match by far either one of them have played in this tournament. Hour and 34 minutes.
I think you'll see Martina coming in.
Oops.
Advantage, Navratilova.
Great point.
It's the second double by Chris Evert Lloyd.
A let cord.
That's twice that it's happened like that to Martina.
Both occasions she was there. Of course, you don't know what she would have done with the volley, but she was there. Rubber the green. You love it when you're the one who's hit it.
One of the few occasions when Martina actually ended up her run on the wrong foot.
Navratilova, final set. Back at the National Tennis Center. 4-3 Navratilova in the final set. Women's final still to come.
Quiet, please,
The other
ladies and
men's
gentlemen.
semifinal
Thank
between
you.
Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe.
I just think, and everybody will be so wrung out when this day is over after that great first men's semi than this one. Yes, I finally got a break on the let cord.
All double fault by Martina. That's just her second. Doesn't happen much. Earlier in the week and earlier today, as a matter of fact, there was some concern as to whether we'd have enough tennis to fill our obligated time of 7 hours. I think we'll make it.
She missed it. Chris tried to volley it and couldn't reach it.
Right on.
First serve.
Oh.
Good thing they don't have a night schedule tonight.
That's right. Yeah, they have a night schedule after all.
Yeah,
Don't they?
they do.
Feature match, Connors and McEnroe. Good deep approach shot by Navratilova.
Yeah, just as you think you might detect a little nervousness creeping into Martina, she comes out with some great shots.
And some good serve.
Navratilova.
Game to Martina.
So one more game.
Navratilova leads 5-3.
More accurately, she's saying 4 more points. That's
Right.
what you have to do, is think
Right.
of 1 point
One
at a time.
From Chris's standpoint, you say, I got to worry about holding my serve first before I think about a break.
Love 15.
Good approach shot.
15 all.
Not absolutely killed, but hit with good pace, good depth.
Tough shot to try.
I just was thinking that why not try something tough, you know, on the run, trying to make a drop shot. She's tried some sort of flaky shots today, and she beats herself on the head with the racket afterwards, saying, why'd they do that?
Great touch there.
Well, after playing each other so many times, I guess they know where the ball's going. Great stuff.
This is only the 61st time.
40-15, Chrissy got a good serve.
And she holds. And it's 5-4 Navratilova. Final set.
Fourth. Couldn't get much more dramatic than this. 5-4 Navratilova. Final
Right,
set, the
resume
women's
play,
final.
Please.
Martina has the
Quiet,
serve.
please.
Crowd going nuts.
Still behind the court, please. Thank you. Love 15.
Seemed that the pace on Chris's two-hander really trapped Martina.
15 all.
I don't think Chris was sure of the serve. some babysitters are going to get overtime tonight. Double match point.
Just can't get to it. Martina Navratilova. That, of course, is Martina's coach, Mike Estep. It took 1 hour and 47 minutes.
I don't think those tears will last for long.
Well, those are different kind of tears from ones that we saw a few years ago when she was just so upset she cried. Those are tears of joy. It was one heck of a match. Martina Navratilova successfully defends her championship of the U.S. Open, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4.